to my video, and in this video I'll be covering out a detailed recap of the price action from the previous week, basically the trades that you could catch with the entries that I would cover in this video, so that you could actually see how these entries are very effective and you could watch out for them and also apply them to your trading. So stay tuned. I will give a detailed breakdown to everything. I've done everything already, just need to review everything so we could make this video a great one. But if you are new to the channel, subscribe, like, turn on your notification bells, because when I drop content like this, it's a banger. So without any delay, let's jump right into the video. So this is how I usually do this. I'm taking back using this vertical line to mark out the other week before this week that just closed. So if we switch up to the weekly time frame, I would love to just ghost out everything so that we could actually have a good look on how the week was looking like. So you could see this week right here. You could see the week before it. We could see everything that happened. Price chasing about 50% of this week and falling back. I've spoken about this multiple times and how it actually affects the market a lot. If you haven't seen this, check the other videos in the channel and in the description too. You would actually find this very interesting. So you could see what happened. Price pushed them down, swept liquidity from the other week's low. If we go down to the 1 day time frame, we could see how before this happened, this was Friday. Price then take price from Friday, so and then boom, falling back into this FVG. So bringing everything back, if I should switch up now, let's start from the 4 hours time frame. On the 4 hours time frame, what could we see? Already I dropped the weekly outlook about this. So if you're watching this video, this would make this very easy for you, so you could actually implement what I dropped from the weekly outlook. I dropped the weekly outlook, and what I said was that if price fails to close above this 400 level from this candle right here, see interruption, as I was saying, if price fails to close above 3400 levels, then we'll just see what I said was we'll see a fallback that will close below, probably retest where it broke out from and then sink. So as we can see, that is what actually happened with the week. But then now the next question is, if this happens now, how can you get your trades or your entries? Let's look at what happened on Monday. We could see how price closed, broke out of the trend line and then left this FVG on 4 hours time frame. What at most I'll be expecting is for price to come back and tap it, but this was like around during the Asian session though. So price did not give that move to come back, and even if we go down to 15 minutes, on 15 minutes time frame, we still see that after the fall, because this level is actually a demand level that the other week was using to buy up. So price came back, tapped it, and was like trying to hold to it. But then next thing we saw was down London session, we got a break, but still no entries that actually I would actually use in my trading strategy or style. So we saw a full break below this demand level, price breaking it, coming down to where we expected price to touch down, which is this 1 day FVG. And getting to the FVG, what I usually do is that when I'm taking trades on these FVGs, I look for good confirmation or add it up with like extra confluence. And if we go up to 1 day time frame, what we see on 1 day time frame, what we'll see on 1 day, let me take out everything again. What we see on 1 day time frame is this FVG sitting right here. So usually what I expect is price to pick out the midpoint of the FVG before we have the push back to the other side. And usually when we are accompanied with like a breaker block, or yes, at most a breaker block, we see that breaker block or reclaimed other block level, something of that nature, we tend to see that okay, price actually gives a solid type of reaction, a solid reaction. But then what happened was that when price came to this level, price did not give us anything solid, but then started to consolidate till down to Tuesday, and we could actually see that consolidation. Let's use this tool. I'll use the ellipse tool to mark that out. So we could see that price was consolidating hard around this level almost all through Tuesday, and then next thing we saw a slash down to the downside, and after that price came back up. So this type of trade now, what type of entries, or how did I catch this buy trade or this buy trade? I think personally on my account I took one of this guy right here. So how do you catch this type of trade? That is the question. So with the push down here now, you know that okay, price has taken out liquidity from the Asian level and the London session too. Can you say 12:30 right here, and this is New York session, price taking liquidity from New York session, and then now giving us an impulsive move back to the upside. What you expect to see is that you check for, or let me show you, this is what you should expect to see. This is how this entry model works. You see a tap, then this push, this is where that whole consolidation was happening at, and next thing, liquidity taking. And where was our liquidity taken from? Our liquidity was taken from London low. Remember what I said right there. So after this sweep, what you expect to see price do is that next impulsive move that goes back up, it leaves an FVG, and this is the first entry, taking the trade from the midpoint of the FVG. And after this midpoint of FVG is taken, what you tend to notice is that you get a break of structure. Next thing, price leaves another LTF demand level, which could be, I made a mistake, I kept on calling this demand demand level. This is an LTF demand level, and price comes back for that level. It could be another block depending on what you use. You notice that price will come back for it and will push, and if we come back here, this is exactly what happened. This FVG is on, I think, 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's check that and confirm. If you look closely, this is not 1 hour. This is not 1 hour. This is on 30 minutes time frame. What can you see on 30 minutes time frame? You could see what happened. London low taken right here, swept, impulsive move, leaving our FVG sitting here. What do? You take your entries from the midpoint of the FVG. Can you see how price came back for it? And next thing, boom, break of structure. Where is the break of structure? You could literally just see it right here. Can you see your break of structure? Let me label it there for those who are not able to see this very quickly or fast. What do you see? Boom, POS right here. What then do you notice? Other block. How do you know it's valid? Impulsive move to the break of structure, price sweeping liquidity right there. Price sweeping liquidity, sorry, not here, right here. Can you see how price swept liquidity? And can you see how price came back, picked this other block, and this guy right here, the block is sitting right here, and then you still also have inducement. That's making it much more valid. And next in price coming back, tapping into it, and then pushing up high. Can you see how this trade was beautiful? Now you got to milk from 2 trades. That was okay. Yes, all these trades picked on Wednesday. You got to milk from this trade on Wednesday, which is about 4 hours, and another 4 hours. Still same Wednesday. You could see how this happened. And then now the next thing you should be looking out for is your targets. Notice what I talked about, this flip demand level. Price did not come back to test it or to use it to push a downside. But then at the time that price came back for this other block right here, price came back and went up to this level. What do you expect from this level? I expect this level to actually give a push back to the downside, but then we need confirmation before we can take the sales. We need confirmation. So already you could see what happened from this point. You could see price falling back, pushing up, leaving break of structure, coming back. There was respect from this level. That means we have like our demand level sitting right here. But then price came back, slashed this level. It actually slashed it, but then rejected back up. Next thing, price flipping it down. What do you expect? I expect that, okay, in regards to the fact that we are still, this guy is a flipped demand level, price will fall up towards somewhere close to this guy, because already if we should take our Fibonacci tool, we check our demand and supply, you'd see that okay, with this break, actually when this full candle did this, we expect to see price tapping or picking more sales from somewhere here. And notice what happened. These are actually the sensitive levels that you need to take note of when you are holding this kind of buys. So having this guy now as a target, now you take note of this place. So that was why my TP is sitting here, and then you could see what happened as price hit this level, whereby the discount to the premium level is sitting at. You could see the whole reaction that came. And if I should go down to 15 minutes, notice what happened here. This guy right here that picked this order, you know the fact that okay, this level now could actually be used as a breaker block on lower time frame. But then notice what happened. Price sat on it, pushed up, and then failed. This is typically what usually would call a failure swing, the failure of this level to hold. It leaves another block sitting right here that you could use as an entry for the continuation towards the downside. And you could see how this happened. Can you see? Break of structure, price coming back and selling. Typically, it usually looks like this. Just like I said, demand level, price coming back for the premium level. You then notice this guy. This is what I was talking about right here. Our breaker block sitting here, price doing this, squashing this guy, break of structure to the downside. It comes back for the demand again, and it will sell. And that is actually exactly what happened right here. You could see it was very, very clean. So next, this happened on Thursday. So next entry, which entry? And you could see how this guy is a very nice 5-hour trade, which actually went well. So the next entry, like we had additional confirmation, because imagine after the peak, price sold aggressively down, impulsively, which is actually a good sign. Next thing is taking confirmation with this entry. That is, after the break of structure, price will come back to the discount level and then use this guy right here to sell. This is how this entry model looks like. Let me show you right here. I see after the impulsive move, this guy picked the first sell trade, and next thing what you notice is a squash of these guys that are sitting at this lower time frame demand. And then after price squashes it, you notice that okay, you pick your entries. You pick your entries right here. Let me just show you this. You could take it from the midpoint or here. Okay. Oh, having a little bit problem with my tool. Having a little problem with my okay. Right here. To actually do this and protect yourself by putting it here. Usually it's much more smaller than this. And then targeting downside. This is how it is, and you could see how it happened right here. See how it happened right here, beautifully, a nice solid 3-hour trade. And check the target I was targeting. I was pushing my targets back down to this low right here, and you could see how it was all smashed beautifully. I was still pushing price to target the midpoint right here. And after this, what do you notice now? Remember, I talked about this FVG here that actually pushed price to this side, but then these cells squashed price, like they closed below that FVG. What do you expect next to happen? What you expect next to happen is this guy has actually turned to an inversion. I checked this FVG on 30 minutes time frame. Look at what happened. It was closed, like price closed below it on that same 30 minutes time frame. What I expect to see, and another thing, there was we took out previous week low in one of these sales right here. Usually, if price has taken out previous week low, you should actually be aiming to look for your buys after the sweep, and it happened since right here. It happened since with this first trade. That was what made this trade actually very, very extra value, because of the fact that we took out liquidity. That's like a major liquidity, which is the previous week low. So what you expect to see is that most times price will actually be giving reactions from that point, and you could see actually our first buy was picked from that level. But then when you have something that leads to price now pushing down, giving a solid close in regards to another confidence that you're having, like this inversion right here that's happened now, you tend to see that price will chase to come back towards the previous week low, you could take your entry, literally take your entry from that previous week low, and you expect to see price sell. And now, with all of this plus what we know about FVGs, I've covered this too many times in my channel. When the FVG fails, a tap, boom, push, and maybe it fails, price usually comes back towards the midpoint and you notice a sell. That is why I call this sell on my VIP channel. Actually, that is why I picked this trade. And where do I expect price to fall back to? I expect price to fall back to this end. This is where I expect price to fall back to. That was why I took. I'm still holding this trade. You could see it right here. Let me show you guys right here. Okay. I'm having issues with this. But then I dropped the screenshots on my channel with the week close. I dropped it here. Can you see? I'm still holding this guy. I'm still holding this trade. That is all because of this confidence that we have. So actually, this is how I expect this trade to actually hit CP. If at all, it should take out this level, which this guy right here should be our previous week low right here. I expect price to take it out and then chase this guy right here because of the whole weakness from this level. So I expect this guy to do this and come back to somewhere around here. We might start to see some type of bullish reactions after price takes this low here. So stay active. I'll be dropping more updates. If you are new to the channel, I drop lots of content like this. If you would love to screenshot this too, I'll also drop it on my channel so you could actually save it and you can actually take note of all these entries, especially these entry models are really nice and they will make you good money. I've tested this a lot, especially with regards to how I spoke about the reaction from the previous week highs and lows, daily highs and lows and all. So leave a sub to the channel and catch me in the next one. I love you guys and I'll be dropping more content like this. So thank you and I'll see you all.